Hi y'all, this is Regina. Welcome back to Regina's Crafting and More. I am going to do a video on a side seam Christmas bow in a 4x4 hoop. Oh yeah. Let's see how this goes. Alright, so I have my little t-shirt here. This is going to be a 4x4 side seam design, so this is really going to test my patience. Alright, so let's get on with this. Let me get my design up. And I think that's the 4x4, yep. Alright, so I'm going to use gold thread instead of red because I do want this to show up. So at least you can see it. I've made the satin stitching a little bit smaller because this is a smaller design. And I don't know if this is going to work. I had a customer, an Etsy customer, that asked me if I could make one of the designs, the side seam designs, fit a 4x4 hoop to do in a child's t-shirt. So I said, okay, I'll try. Not this one, but another one. And she stitched it out, which really surprised me. So let's see how this goes. I figure if she can do it, I can do it. Alright, so we're stitching the alignment lines, which you're going to use to align the bottom of your shirt or your pants or your sweatshirt, whatever. And then the vertical line to line up your side seam, whether it's ironed or whatever. Okay, so I've ironed it in. There's my center. Here's the horizontal line is for the bottom of your shirt to go on. Let me pull this out of here. And let's try this again. So I've got that lined up down at the bottom. Let's see if it's... You might want to put a little adhesive on the back of this. Okay, so that says it's lined up. I'm going to try not to disturb my alignment. I would use some adhesive to adhere this down. Alright, so the first stitch, because I've made this bow to be either an applique or to stitch directly onto the t-shirt or sweatshirt or whatever, and it has satin stitching in it, so this is going to be an applique, I hope. So the first color stop is going to stitch a placement stitch for your applique material, whether it's fabric or vinyl or whatever. And remember, when you put down your fabric, you're going to cut it away. So in this 4x4, that's pretty little. Okay, so that's your placement stitch. So I've got this, and I'm hoping that it's going to be wide enough to cover. I got plenty at the top. I've got some over here. Oh, it's going to be close. Let me see here. Alright, so the second color stop is going to tack this down. Now I'm just gently holding this. Woo, doggies, it's close. I'm just using some fabric that I had a scrap in there, and I have no idea what this is going to look like. It might look like the Dickens, but I'm giving the old college try. Alright, so now we got to trim that fabric away. This should be interesting. All right, so let's see here. Let me get my light turned around a little bit. Shed a little light on this. All right, so I can barely see it. I think I made a bad fabric choice. But these applique scissors, if you just hold the fabric up straight, well, that didn't get quite, so we're going to go back in there. Okay, that worked. And we're just going to continue cutting around. Kind of hard for me to see, but I'm just holding that fabric up and cutting where the scissors let me go. Bad choice of fabric. Bad choice of fabric. Oh my goodness. I just grabbed something. This is going to look terrible. But at least it'll show you that a 4x4 can be done. Okay, so now we got to go around this little curve with the point. And I know you can't see that line. I can barely see it because of the other gold lines that are on the fabric. Okay, so we're not cutting stabilizer. We don't want to cut stabilizer. Crud. I put that in the wrong spot. Well, maybe I didn't. That's all right. That's going to be okay. I should have cut the t-shirt out first, I think, but this will work. All right, so we got the fabric down here. I guess it's 6 of one, half a dozen the other. It really doesn't make any difference which comes first. And in actuality, I don't even need the cut line because the cut line is already really on here. The cut line could be like a reminder. All right, so we're going to cut the t-shirt fabric away now. I don't think you want to try to cut both at the same time, especially when you have to cut the bottom of the t-shirt. Okay, so I'm cutting the t-shirt away because that is the next step. It would have just stitched this line, and then that would have given me a cut line. But since I'm doing an applique, I already have a cut line. All right. You do want to get as close as you can to that line. All right. So we got the t-shirt cut. Let me get those other scissors. My scissors that are not supposed to be used to cut fabric. Okay, well they're not going to get, well they get a little bit. Alright, so you know what? I am going to go ahead and stitch that cut line just because, okay? It'll give this little extra strength. And it should just stitch right on top. And since it's a triple stitch, it'll really secure that in there. So you could stitch this before you cut your t-shirt back. And I probably should, I don't know if I want to put it there or not. Okay. I think really I'm just going to leave that there. I'm not going to move it. And I am, because I see where that is, I am going to take my scissors and give it a little clip right there. The rest of this I think will get covered up with the satin stitching. You do want to get as close as you can. And if you see something poking out, then you need to cut it. All right, so now it's going to do the satin stitching. You may or may not be able to see it because I've got these little swirls on this fabric, which, like I said, this wasn't a good choice of fabrics to do this, because you may not be able to see the satin stitching. Best laid plans of mice and men, huh? Yeah, you'll be able to see it. Alright, so it's doing the satin stitching, which gives the bow some definition. Now this is just like the big bow I did earlier, except I stitched it directly onto the t-shirt. Where this one, I laid down some fabric. You could do vinyl, glitter vinyl or something like that. That would be cute. And I used wash away stabilizer, and I actually just used one piece. It's one that I sewed together. I recycle my pieces that I cut off of a project, and I sew them together with water-soluble thread that I buy off of Amazon, and it works just as good as a regular piece. You don't want to get too many layers of, the pieces sewn together, but it does work. Saves me a lot of stabilizer. I'll sit here one morning and while I'm watching the news and sew pieces together and end up with 20 or 30 more sheets, different sizes. Alright, so I'll be back when this finishes. Just the satin stitching, okay. So this 4x4 applique side seam takes about 13 minutes stitching time, and we're getting pretty close to going into the satin stitching around the edges here. I'm trying to look on my machine to see where we are. Yeah, we're getting real close to being finished. Okay, so it's finished with some of the satin stitching, and it's just going around securing the edge of it all the way around. So I've got a stray little thread up here. Oh, there it is. Alright, so now if you wanted to put in a different shade of thread, now's the time to do it. It stops, and it's going to do the satin stitching all the way around. So I broke it up so it purposely stops in case you want to do a different shade of whatever color you used in here. Yeah, I could have done a better job of picking out a piece of fabric, but it was just laying there on top, and I went, okay, red, that works. Alright, I'll be back when this is finished. It's going to do the satin stitching all the way around. This is what I cut out of the t-shirt right here. That's how small it is. Now, I don't have big hands. I have pretty small hands. And it's just not even as long as my middle finger. Here's a seam ripper to give you some perspective. So it's just about done. Okay, so this part is going to give me a little pause for concern to do the center of the bow. And I'm hoping that this does have the coverage it needs. And there's not too many satin stitches right there coming all together. That's a lot of satin stitches all converging on the same area. Keep your fingers crossed. It's having to go over a lot of small, fine edges of those satin stitches that were already there, so. And we did it. Alright, so I wanted to show you that it is possible to do a side seam bow in a 4x4 hoop. Enjoy. This will be posted along, and there's another video showing the this bow being stitched directly onto the t-shirt with no fabric. So, enjoy. Don't forget to like and share. Alright, so I'm at the cutting table and I'm trimming away the wash away stabilizer. You don't have to get very close. You can just go right, you know, 1/8 of an inch or so. Be careful not to cut your t-shirt. Use your other finger up underneath the wash away stabilizer and just make sure it's lifted up. Keep your finger where you can feel those scissors. Don't cut yourself. Just use your scissors as a guide, because when the first time you wash this, it's going to all get washed out. Okay, so for the center, you're just going to trim as close as you can. You don't want to cut your threads, so be careful.
Yeah, my feet are feeling much better now. I can feel already the difference.
So it's going to take some time for you to learn how to.
Okay.
I just think it's incredible. It makes so much difference.
And it is little, so I'm going to trim down around this way.
They will look forward to that.
Get this off of here, because we can use a Q-tip and hot water.
Today for her follow-up visit, and this is by far one of the biggest surgeries that I've done. I am really hoping that we're well on our way to healing and that you know we're going to.
All right, so that's what I have left. I'm just going to trim right in there carefully, kind of get that out. Oh, that stupid TV, hold on. All right, so I just nuked some water to get it hot. And see how it disappears? You just rub that Q-tip along the edges and that wash away stabilizer just disappears. You don't worry about what's on the inside of the shirt, because that's going to get washed away the first time you stick it. See that? Just keep putting it in there, and remember, I was doubled up on some stabilizer where the seams were. Okay. That may be some threads. That water didn't get hot enough. If the water's not really, really hot, it's not gonna wash away very well. And that may be some part of the t-shirt that I didn't get trimmed. That water's just not hot. There we go. Okay. And that's how you get rid of it.